What's up, Lucious?
Hey Reap!
What's going on?
Oh, just playing Metroid Prime 2.
Cool. Isn't that the game where you play as that badass chick, Samus?
Yeah. Samus is a girl. Right.
Damn.
Meh! Oh god, what are you doing here? Well, as you know, there's a Dark Samus in this game, which contractually means I am obligated to appear in this episode. Look, he even sounds like me. That was just you. Whatever. You know, I think you're gonna need some help on this video/game. Time to bring in an expert. If there's one guy who's an expert at Samus, it's this man right here.
Dude, you haven't played this game?
Plus, he's a lot more professional than you.
Well, I do script out all my shows.
Oh damn, Miketendo. I better make myself look good. This guy actually is going places.
Oh great, a cameo. Let's just get this started.
Samus!
So we're talking about Metroid Prime 2 Echoes on the Nintendo GameCube. Now the interesting thing about Metroid is I never played any of the original Metroids. The first Metroid game I played was the original Metroid Prime. And after beating that, I picked up the original Metroid and I just couldn't get into it. And I don't know if I remember the second one coming out or whatever, but I just never picked up another one.
Not doing that right.
Yeah, shut up, Mike. I know what I'm doing. So, Metroid Prime 2 obviously is a game that I wanted to check out just because Prime 4 is coming out. I'd like to catch up with the series, and I just want to see what it was like. So, Metroid Prime 2 takes place after the first Metroid. You have all of the abilities, for the most part, that you got at the end of that game. And it starts off with a planet saying there's a crash landing of Federation forces. They need Samus to go in and check out, see what happened. You crash land. Already something's up. You run into some weird shadow version of yourself, and then you eventually meet up with some bug dude who tells you that the world has some issue going on where it's been split into a light half and a dark half, and then you, being the badass and congeniality you are, you're gonna save the day. That's the plot. Now, playing this game, I couldn't remember my thoughts on the original Metroid Prime, and this has really reminded me of what I thought. So first and foremost, this is a game that came out in the early 2000s, before double joystick control became a norm. This isn't even fun. These controls are terrible. Where's my double joysticks? I have to push R to lock on, but the lock on doesn't keep the shot going, and if he moves, it misses. So what that means is that you look with the right stick and you move with the left stick. That's how all first-person shooter games work now. Well, back then, this still has a lot of the original GoldenEye feel, where you hold down a trigger button that then allows you to free aim with the left stick. The right stick just changes what beam you're using. So you have the charge beam, you have the light beam, the dark beam, and then eventually you get the annihilator beam, which combines light and dark.
You did play Metroid Prime, right?
Don't you have better things to do?
Normally I print out my scripts. I'm not doing that.
It was a little bit of a learning curve for me because when I started, I was, routinely going and trying to move and look at the same time, which you can't do. Now, I'm not complaining about this because I actually do, in some ways, kind of miss that style. The R-trigger feature has a lock-on that automatically is looking around for you and then allows you to shoot. Now, it's not perfect by a long shot, which is going to get into the reasons why I think I didn't pick this game up.
You need to use the missiles here.
You shut up! I'm up to here with all the cooks in this kitchen.
Whoops, wouldn't have gone that way.
The control actually hitting stuff is very finicky to the point of frustration, particularly on the final boss, which the boss fights themselves are endurance matches of frustration. you have to scan stuff in this game, which No Man's Sky much, but you scan everything. And sometimes you scan something and it opens it. Sometimes you scan something and it gives you a hint at how to beat it or what to do. It'll say this can be blown up, but then you'll use everything you have to blow it up. You need some sort of other explosion. So you have the super missiles, you have the seeker missiles that shoot 5 at once, you have the power bomb, and then you have the ultimate power bomb in your ball form. And you slowly but surely uncover the puzzle of this world. Ah! Fine! Teach me! What do I do?
One does not simply play the Samus! You must become the Samus!
One with the Samus. One main hub that has a great temple above it where you get all your kind of story and exposition. And then you have 3 separate lands. You have Torval, you have Aegon Waste, and you have the Sanctuary. Torval is kind of a swamp, Aegon Waste is a mining place, and then the Sanctuary is this big robotic sanctuary that's kind of trippy and all over the place. And then the temple grounds themselves are just a normal groundsy type thing. It reminds me of scenery from the original Metroid Prime.
Use the light beam.
Light! And then there's the light dark element. So each map has a light version, and then it has a dark version, and you traverse through that through portals that are made by shooting it with the light or dark beam.
Use the dark beam.
Dark! And once you go to the dark realm, you instantly start taking damage. Light, dark, why do they have... There's so much stupid backtracking in this game!
Watch out! Dark Samus!
Now when you're in Samus's regular suit, you take it very quickly, and you have to go between these balls of protective light. And then once you get the dark suit, your health starts draining a lot slower. And once you get the light suit, it doesn't drain at all. So getting the light suit at the very end of the game allows you to kind of search everywhere.
Close your eyes, Luke.
Okay.
Let the light fill you.
Oh!
Let it fill you up.
Yeah! And what you have to do in each individual temple is find 3 keys in the Dark World, unlock the temple in the Dark World, beat a giant boss, and then that boss gives you the power back, and then you restore that power to the temple, and that erects a giant beam that then allows you to go to the next temple. And once you do all 3 of them, you unlock the Sky Temple quest, where you then have to find 9 more keys hidden throughout the whole game. Now luckily up to this point I'd already discovered 3 of them, so finding the other 6 wasn't as daunting, and they do give you hints. You can find dead bodies, but still, without using a guide on this part, it would take you a hell of a lot longer. Oh, check it out! The game just told me what to do!
Gonna give you one more of that?
That was not you!
Well.
And in general, I probably spent 20, 30 hours on this game because it only counts the stuff that you save, and when you die in this game, you go back to your last save. It's very brutal in that regard, especially if you get past a boss fight and then you stupidly die on the way to a save. You have to do that boss fight again. I had to do that a couple of times. Yes! Woo! I did it
done,
by
Lucious.
myself,
Well done.
all day, 1 controller, by myself. Like, this is a hard game. This is harder than I expected it to be, but it just reminded me of why I didn't really care much for Metroid Prime, and it explains why I didn't pick up Super Metroid, especially after I picked up Metroid 1 and didn't enjoy it, and then Metroid Prime 2 came out. Maybe I was on my way to college, maybe I don't know, it was in 2004, it could have been around then, and I just ignored it, because the control scheme, while familiar and I got used to it, it does get to the point where you try and enter a door, and you get stuck, and then you have to and then move. It is stiff. It does show me and make me thankful for, 2-stick control is so much easier to use and so much better. They have just so much backtracking in the game and so many... The map system itself is good and bad at the same time. You get into a room and immediately you can kind of get an idea of where you are, but it doesn't show you corridors and whatnot. It's typical. I'm finding, after I did Hollow Knight and then do this game, that there's only so much Metroidvania you can do in a row. As someone who hates getting stuck and gets frustrated... Are you kidding me? After you beat the last boss of the game, there's another last boss, and then if you die, it's over? I'm done with this. Enough! Too much! George is getting upset! I know why I didn't pick up the second one now. Because it's endurance fights with not much satisfaction. It's shoddy controls. The aiming system is flawed. But everything else is cool. Unlocking stuff is always fun. The grapple beam is really nice in this. They introduced the screw attack, which they didn't have in the original Metroid Prime, so that was nice, although it's more of just an area traversal. And then you have to do some wall jumping with it, which is frustrating too and has a learning curve. But what else is new with wall jumping in Metroid? And yeah, just... you know, a solid game. A solid game. Nothing that I'm too sad I missed out on, but definitely... I'm ready for the third one. I'll check it out.
Well done.
Alright, you know what? I've had it up to here with you. Metroid Prime Hunters is a great game. Samus! Wow, that actually worked. Cool! Alright. Well, let's go review this without doing any research.
He would do well to heed me. For you see, corruption is coming.
As far as the rating on this game goes, I'm going to give it a 7. I'm trying to be a little harsher here. I'm going to give it a 7. It was alright. It was a decent game. Something I'd play again? Probably not. Something I won 100%? No. I had a 57% completion percentage, and part of it is you have to scan everything, and this isn't No Man's Sky. I'm not going to scan everything. But yeah, glad I played it. Definitely worth a shot. And pick it up. Play it. That's your homework. There you have it. Metroid Prime 2. Great game. Pick it up. Alright guys, I want to give a special thank you to Miketendo for being a part of this
Well-lit video.
I know it really made it. And if you liked watching this video, definitely check out some of Miketendo's stuff. He does a lot more of the skit-based things than I do, although I'm going to try and start doing more of it. So yeah guys, thanks for watching, and remember to take care.